Today we're going to be taking a look at the LarkBox Pro, one of the smallest PCs in the world, and it happens to run Windows 10. The LarkBox started off as a crowdfunding campaign on Indiegogo, stating it was the world's smallest 4K mini PC. Funding went extremely well, raising over $1 million, and it didn't take Chewy long before they started selling the LarkBox on major e-tail sites like Amazon. Now, the original Indiegogo campaign was for just the LarkBox, and since then they've released the LarkBox Pro, which is the one I purchased, which features a slightly better processor than its predecessor. I was super excited to get my hands on one because it came with a quad-core J4125 Intel processor, 6 gigs of RAM, and running a full-on Windows 10 for only $180 US. Now, I had previously purchased a rather older and larger ThinkCenter for my home media PC, and I was really curious to see if this little tiny machine could replace a thing that was literally about twice the size. The unboxing experience was awesome, the packaging was minimalist, and it came with a USB-C power adapter, a VESA mount for your monitor or your TV, some documentation, and well, obviously the LarkBox itself. The design was also super sleek and minimal, and I just have a special place in my heart for small form factor PCs. There's just something really cool about holding an entire PC in your hand, like in the palm of your hand, and that just tickles the nerd part of my brain quite a bit. As far as I/O goes, on one side you'll get an SD card reader and a headphone jack. On the back you'll have the USB-C for power, HDMI port, and 2 USB 3.0 ports. And on the front, obviously, you have the power button. So after firing it up, the first thing I thought I'd try is emulation, since that's one of the main reasons I have a media PC for home. And I knew it was going to handle some of the older systems like NES and SNES and even N64, so I thought I'd try just a step above that and use GameCube. And well, I mean, you tell me what you think of the performance. Needless to say, that experience was pretty awful. But hey, I mean, it's not meant for gaming, right? It's a lower power processor. So I thought I'd try video playback. But that wasn't a super great experience as well. In fact, running anything with any sort of screen capture software was just super laggy. The mouse would sputter, I would drop frames even if I wasn't running the video in 4K, and even just the YouTube would just run super slow, and it wasn't my internet connection. That was fine. Just everything about this experience with this tiny machine was just, I mean, slow. I don't know how else to explain it. It was very laggy and not a great experience. And this is with the better version of the LarkBox, right? The LarkBox Pro with the upgraded, J4125 processor. I don't even know what it would be like with the 4115 processor. So look, maybe I'm a little bit snobby and I'm used to my i5 9600K with a dedicated graphics card, and I'm just used to a, much snappier experience. But at the end of the day, I mean, even just surfing the internet was a pretty crappy experience, it wasn't great. So could a college student get away with using this? I mean, yeah. I mean, it would work as a word processor, right? And sure, doing some minor work on the computer. But so would a Chromebook, and I really can't think of any experience where having the LarkBox would be the superior experience to having a different computer, right? You wouldn't purchase this to get any sort of like real work done, nothing on Excel, nothing for video processing or anything like that. And I think when it really comes down to it, like, the reason you would buy the LarkBox is for the novelty of having such a small form factor PC. But I mean, hey, don't take my word for it. Let's take a look at some of these Geekbench scores. The LarkBox Pro gets a score for single core performance of 440. And in case you're wondering what that's like, a second generation dual core Pentium chip has it beat by 1 point. That is 8 generations of processors ago. And for multi-core scores, we get 1391, which is only 2 points ahead of the Ryzen 3 3200U, which has, wait for it, half the cores. Now, I get it. It's a mobile processor. It's not supposed to be as powerful as the desktop class PC processors. But like, that's kind of what I'm saying, right? It's a novelty PC. And there's nothing wrong with it being a novelty PC. It was fun to get and fun to tinker around with, you know what I mean? But we're kind of kidding ourselves if we take it too seriously. So my final verdict. Would I recommend the LarkBox Pro? Nah, I don't think I would. I just can't see myself using it in very many scenarios. I mean, it was fun to kind of like show my friends and be like, hey, check this out, the LarkBox. But I can't see myself seriously using it for anything major. And I have like this fear of becoming a tech hoarder, of buying stuff that I'm not going to use, And if you also have a fear of being a tech hoarder, then hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm and go ahead and subscribe to my channel, because I am going to be coming out with some more reviews for your computer buying experiences, so you also don't become a tech hoarder and buy stuff you're not going to use. So until then, I'll see you in the next video. Or maybe not. And I won't see you, but maybe you'll see me. But only if you're subscribed. So again, hit that subscribe button, and thanks for watching.